Hi everyone. Thank you for being here. This is your Tuesday reading. Okay, I didn't turn the lamps on today. I just needed it to be a little more muted and a little calmer today. The energy they're very bright. I need to get anyway, yada yada blah blah blah. So anyway, so when I ask Spirit, hi, Holly here, psychic medium, energy reader. And when I ask Spirit for the vibe and the energy for the collective, this is a general reading. Please remember that. I got out my writable mug and I just wrote hope all over it. It was just one single word. That's the only word that came up the entire time I kept asking. So what about hope? Okay, what do you want us to know about hope? And what I'm hearing now is hold on to your sense of internal knowing. Hold on to your own peace, like PEACE. Hold on to what you know to be true about yourself, within yourself. There's going to be a lot of flux and change happening. There's going to be a lot, almost like a tornado swirling around us. And I don't mean a literal one. But I feel like it's going to be, winds of change are just going to be brewing and blowing all over the place and all around us. This is when it's most important to maintain your center of gravity, and remember who you are at all times. If you change who you are to meet the circumstances, it's one thing to be flexible and adaptable. It's another thing to wear a different mask for every person you see. So when you remember to hold on to your core beliefs, your core values, who you are, and what you know to be true, it doesn't matter what changes around you. This is going to be an important message. And in that, embedded in that, is this sense of hope. Because you carry, what I'm hearing very clearly is you carry the seed and the kernel of hope in trying times. You are that carrier. You are that light bringer. You are that messenger. All right, so we're going to put it right there so you can see it. And beforehand, while I was, because all those messages just came just now, but beforehand I asked for some help because it is a general reading, and with general readings and on a YouTube channel, I'm going to use cards as a jumping off point and as a vehicle for listening to Spirit, okay? And so I used the Star Tarot, and the 3 cards that came out to help jumpstart this reading. Well, hold on a minute. Let me put my glasses on. All right. So the 3 cards that came out for the jumpstart here, we have the Ace of Cups. And it's that beautiful dove of peace and a cup of love growing out of a lotus. A lot of symbolism in here. Then we have the Knight of Swords. We had the Knight of Swords in yesterday's reading. This looks like a Pegasus. It's a horse with wings flying. Oh, thank you. Flying through a stormy sky. Those are lightning bolts. But this is a knight that knows what they're doing. And they're coming from a place of peace and love. Okay? Now, I think a bird just hit the window. Hang on, y'all. Yeah, it's okay. Sometimes they do that, and it's not like, I mean, I have no idea. It was a little, I put a bunch of bird feed out there for them, and so one of them just glanced the window, but it's fine, flew off, and there's, it's okay. Sorry about that. All right, so, and we end with the 7 of Pentacles, okay, or the 7 of Coins. This is someone, oh, and look, do you see those are not cows jumping over the moon, those are horses. And look at this. She's got butterflies around her. She's surrounded in groundedness, and her heart light is showing. So it's the same heart in the center of that cup. She is the North Star. I keep hearing there is a return. There is a return. There is a return. There is a return. A return of what? It's going to mean different things for different people. It could be the return of an inner peace and a groundedness. There's going to be the return of people, partners, friendships. It could be a group dynamic, but there's a coming back into. It feels like coming into the fold kind of thing. All right. So there will be some chaos. But if you hold on to a sense of hope and hold on to your, it's more a sense of yourself. If you remember who you are and hold on to that sense of self, nothing will be able to sway you. Okay. All right. I'm going to use the Rana George Lenormand. And let's see what else is going on. It just feels so quiet right now. It feels very quiet. And it does have a sense of peace about it. Like I don't have that restless feeling that I did the other day. But yet, I do feel like this is the calm, and what I'm hearing is this is the calm before the storm. You can weather the storm, and that's a storm of whatever kind, whether it's something on a global scale, a national scale, or within your own life or your own home. But a storm is brewing. The storm will be weathered, and the way you will survive is by remembering who you are and staying true to your core beliefs. They said to take the card on top, the tree. This tree is an unusual tree card. And in the Lenormand, this is about stability, security, rootedness. If you stay rootedness within yourself, nothing can knock you over. This is a tree that is a fully developed, well-established tree, but it's growing on a slope. You would think in a storm it would be the first one to get knocked over, but it is still standing. And I'm also hearing it is providing shade, food, and safety for a lot of little woodland inhabitants, even though that isn't a forest or a woodland around it. Okay. Let's see what else we've got. All right, let's get into a reading. I want a reading for the collective. We are in a general reading right now. So what is the reading for the collective beyond this sense of staying true to yourself, being loyal to yourself? Loyalty is of significant importance. I know it is to me. What else can you tell me about loyalty? Because that's what the dog card represents. Whenever I see a white dog, sometimes that can also mean the end of something, like a literal death, the end of a cycle. Oh, man. Okay, yeah. And facing upright. The only one that 4 cards fell out or jumped out. 1 face up. The rest were face down. And it's the coffin. That's usually a pretty significant door slamming closed. And we have card 18 and card 8. So we go from, if you add it together, go to 9 to 8. All right. Let's see what else we've got. Wow. I feel like this is the end of a cycle because we are getting ready to move into a spiritual awakening that will surprisingly be grounding and will give us the energy and the key and the information we need to okay, I'm just pulling them the way they're telling me to. Okay. All right, I'll show you all these in a minute. This is pretty interesting. So the reading part of it, and I'm going to give you the numbers for the cards too, because I feel like that's important. For whatever reason, that is also important. So we've got cards 18, 8, 37, 35, 33, 12, 24, 29, 21, 9, 34, and 1. Those are very synchronistic numbers. And when you add them together, we've got a whole lot of 9s, 3s, 7s. We've got a 1. I mean, we've got a whole lot of interesting numbers here. Okay, so we've got, let me just show you. We've got the dog, and then we've got an ending. It's not the ending to loyalty. You are the loyal person. For me, this is, since I'm the reader here and, I'm asking the question, everybody else can interpret this in any way you want. But for me, white dogs signify death. And then right next to it came out the coffin. So there is an ending for sure. I do not feel like it's not necessarily, usually that's the death, like literal death, a white dog. But in this instance, I feel like it's the end of a cycle. It could be a literal death connected somewhere in your life somehow, but I feel like it's more of a close of a cycle, okay? Because then this is a card that's extra in this deck. This is not part of the typical Lenormand. And this is a card of mysticism, metaphysical awareness, and understanding spirit, and being in, I'm not going to say control of, because we are never in control of the elements, but people think they are, but they're not. We are in union with the elements, okay? So we are coming to the close of a cycle, and this almost supernatural awareness, metaphysical awareness, spiritual awareness will ground us, anchor us in the coming waves of and lightning strikes. That is what will ground us and keep us solid. It will provide the key to opening up, the answer to it will give us the key to the answers that we need. Now, there will be people who will chatter, who will talk, who will even steal your ideas. It will be short-lived. Because if they are not continually fed, they have nothing to offer. So let people talk. The Mel Robbins let them theory, well, yeah, let them talk. Because you know what? They can't back up their own. They can't come up with their own. So people will chatter. There's going to be some jealousy. But then the truth of your heart wins out. Your genuine intentions, your hard work. No one handed you anything. Hard work and a loving heart. That is what will win the day. And by staying true to your spirituality, to your needs, as well as understanding that we are only a cog in the wheel. We are not the wheel. That's going to be important. This is specifically the female card in this deck. There are different ones for a child, an adult, a gentleman, a guy or a girl, a woman, a well-to-do woman, whatever. This is specifically saying female energy. So there is going to be female energy around you, and there's going to be a mountain to climb. So there's going to be, I feel like these three are connected. The chittering, chattering female voice that is not going to be a healthy one, unfortunately. I hate to sabotage, or not sabotage, but I'm just speaking, I mean, that's a harsh reality about, my own gender, so I'm sorry about that. But they're out there and we know it. And it is going to create a hardship momentarily. But in the end, the last 3 cards, you were given a gift of prosperity and abundance in all ways. And prosperity and abundance of love, of finances, of wellness. And I heard the word exposure. So there's going to be positive exposure and some will have negative exposure. If you are the subject of this reading and it is yours, then you will be given positive exposure. And it's going to come in fast. There will be a messenger with a message. I'm hearing something about validation. You're going to find out something that will validate what you already know, but you only consider a suspicion. There's going to be something that you will know for sure very soon. And there is going to be a messenger that will bring you this message. And it all goes back to this. When you stand firm, nothing can knock you over. And that can be a little intimidating for people. All right, is there anything else? Okay, not this deck because we've used a ton out of it already. All right, I'm going to just fold these up here real quickly. And let's see what else we've got. Because I feel like there's some more going on. Or there's a whole different reading coming in. Okay, I haven't used these in a while. The vice versa. So this is the vice versa tarot, and the interesting thing about them is that, like, for example, this is the Two of Swords. You see it from the front. If you flip the card over, it shows you the reverse. It's kind of a cool deck. So, Mother, Father, God, Spirit, Guides, and Guardians, please come into this reading. Help us to understand what it is that we are to know. This is a general reading. What is the message for the collective that will resonate with this? Why? What is going on with this? What is going on? What I'm hearing is just let the message stand. It will resonate in its own way and in its own time with people as they are ready to hear it and need to hear it. So there's that. All right. Okay. All right, so what is the message for the collective? What is the message for the collective? Wow, I kind of went flying. All right, and this one came out. I was holding the deck and it separated in my hand, so I'm like, okay, but I kept going and it never stopped. So I pulled that card out. All right, now. Well, come on. Okay. All right, so let's see what we've got. We have 3 cards. Huh. Okay. All right, so we've got the 6 of Swords, and it came out, it face up this way. So that's the way I take them. If it came up this way, that's the way I would take it. So this is it's kind of unusual deck, and I read everything face up. I don't read reversals, you know. So there's enough of a shadow in every card that I don't feel the need to, you know, and I listen to Spirit just tell me what to do and what to say anyway. All right, so the 6 of Swords. This is the end of the battle. All right, so are we coming to the end of the cycle? So this is post the last card spread. So this is after, how far after? Is it midstream, like after the battle ended? And we go into and we move into the new cycle, or is this at the full closure? Okay, full closure. All right, so this is at the so this is just a continuation. So this is the next step. So after a battle has been fought and the war won, this is like a continuation of yesterday's reading too, almost. And there will be some gossip That's the word. It's not chitter chatter. It's not that. It's just flat out gossip about you. Who cares? If people don't have anything better to do than to talk about you, that means you must be doing something that makes people want to talk about you. So anyway, so there's going to be a lot of gossip. And then you come through, you stand strong in your hope and spirituality and your essence. You stand in the essence of your truth. There will be some negativity in terms of having to try to, I feel like rebuilding. There's going to be a certain amount of rebuilding. And that could be that mountain from the last spread. But then you are rewarded with abundance in all ways, and there will be a message coming in. Okay. Now, with that, this is a continuation. So this is reminiscent of a knight, or a king. I'd say maybe the king because of the wreath on the, is that a sword? Yeah. This is also a sign of victory. Now, we don't have to look at it as a loser and a winner. Wherever you have one loser, you have other people who have lost. Everybody in some point loses something, and hopefully everybody gains a sense of appreciation for where they are and who they are. But in this instance, I feel like this is about reputation. So someone's reputation is intact, and people show themselves for what they are. Okay. Now, I feel like there's more going on with that, but we'll get there. All right. And this is wow. Okay. So this is the King of Swords. This is not the side we got. We got this side. So this is a King of Swords Kings of Swords are, and gender is irrelevant. Remember, it's the energy. Incredibly smart. Very intuitive. And look at the stance. This is someone who, like that tree, not going to be knocked over. And that cape is blowing. This is a king who is looking at the lightning and saying, fine, I will stand unmoved. Because this king is that strong and that powerful and that respected. People, I mean, would you think twice before walking up on this? This is someone who is turning a back to the negativity and the naysayers and the whatever, and weathering the storm and saying, you're not going to change who I am. I am firmly rooted and firmly planted like that tree. I will sway, but I know who I am. And this isn't about being dismissive or about being immovable in terms of not being able to learn. This is simply about saying, I know wrong when I see it, and I won't make excuses. This is the card that the deck kind of opened up in my hand, and I kind of tested it. I'm like, okay, well, is this going to change? No, it would not. This card wanted to be seen, and I was very clearly instructed to pull it, so I did. This is the Hanged Man, and this is the way I saw it. I didn't see it like that. I saw it like this. And what I heard was, when you take a different perspective, look at it through a new set of eyes, you will realize and see a truth. I'm kind of hearing that blessing in disguise. You know, we may not always understand at first what is happening, but when we do, you can't unsee it. And it is standing firm in the knowledge of who you are that wins the day and saves the day. Because when you decide to close a door, you will do so on your terms. And it will be clear. It will be very, very clear just how strong you are. Okay. And I keep hearing this message about you have nothing to prove. There is nothing at all to prove. The only one you ever have to prove anything to is yourself. Okay? So I learned that a very long time ago. And in the last few years, it's become even more and more a truth for me. I have learned that I am only in competition with myself. And that's why I learn, I try, I push myself beyond my comfort zone. And that can be scary and hard. But you know what? The only person that I really am in competition with is myself. And that's why I learn everything I can. And that's why I try to do everything on my own. And sometimes it's not always a good thing. Sometimes it is good to ask for help. But I also, it's like, the only competition you are in is with yourself. And when you realize you have nothing to prove, but whether or not this competition with yourself it's one you want to continue, or if you want to try something new, or you want to stop what you're doing, or whatever it is. Being in competition with yourself in a healthy way, okay, not like pushing yourself to the point of becoming sick or exhausted or trying to prove something to someone else. You have nothing to prove to anyone else. That is a huge message. It's such a big message. I think that's what I'm going to call this video. To get to that point where you realize you have nothing to prove to anyone else requires a tremendous amount of self-reflection. Why are you doing what you're doing? Okay? So if not everybody has to go out and blaze a trail. There are people who are very content to live their lives in the quiet oasis that they've created for themselves. And there is nothing more beautiful than a contented person. Now, if you've always wondered or thought, well, I would really like to do this, but I'm just too afraid, revisit that. Ask yourself, why am I too afraid? What is going on with that? And remember, you owe no one any explanations. You are not in competition with anyone else, and you don't have to prove anything to anyone else. You are the main character in your life. You are the protagonist of your story. All right, so I've had these for a while, and I haven't used them with you guys. It's a Tori Hartman deck, and it's called Chakra Wisdom Tarot. And they are color-coded. It's a regular tarot deck, but they are color-coded by chakra system. And so it kind of helps you to understand what to work on based on the color of the border of the card, which is kind of clever, I think. Okay. And this one, all right, I'm going to take it because it was in my hands. All right, and it didn't want to move. Okay. Interesting. Two of Cups. When I was looking at the Star Tarot, there was another card that came out, and I thought, I don't something is off. I don't quite feel this card right now. So I put it back and I didn't include it and make it a 4 card spread, the very first one. And what came up was the Two of Cups. I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards ever. Guess what just came out of the Chakra Wisdom Tarot that we're going to end the reading with? Two of Cups. All right, and that is orange, and that is the sacral chakra. And so that deals with passion and all of those emotions that go along with sort of a Two of Cups relationship. That's a little bit more than a friendship. All right, so from the start, what we've got, we have purple, and we have the Seven of Cups. And then we have yellow, the Three of Swords, and that's heartache. A terrible heartache. Yet it is yellow, which is the solar plexus, the seat of our power, control. You would think that would be the heart, and green or pink, because it is dealing with a wounded heart. Whenever we have a broken heart, is it really a broken heart, or is it a broken or wounded ego? But then it moves into the Two of Cups, passion and creativity. So, Seven of Cups, purple. That looks like purple to me, so I'm going to say crown. If that's the crown chakra, because it's usually like purple, indigo, blue, like a robin's egg kind of blue, green or pink, yellow, orange, and red. So those are the colors associated with them. It might be different depending on, and then there are tons of, we have a lot of etheric bodies that radiate out from us. And then there is actually another chakra, which is just anyway, it's a lot. People say 7. There's so much more than 7. And these are colors that have been attributed, and they do kind of resonate and feel good with it. So, and it gets everybody on the same page. So, Seven of Cups. This is not a happy person. And I'm hearing trapped in your head. Someone is trapped in their head about a decision. Someone is so trapped in their head about a decision, even though it's a decision of the heart. A heart that has been wounded, and therefore an ego that has been wounded because they don't know what to do. They feel rejected. But what comes along? Creativity and passion and a Two of Cups. So, if this is romance, hang tight. I feel like a decision is going to be made for you. If it's, and not that you're not in control, but that you will get more information that will make it easier to make a determination, is what I mean. And if this is about friendships or a community or a job, I don't think it's about a job, or about a group of people, it's going to have to do with emotions and people. Then whatever situation you are in, it kind of reflects back on pretty much every aspect of this reading. You are going to get information that will change the way you look at something. You won't feel so stabbed in the heart or back, and you will come into a place of knowing, and you will be just fine. You will have your abundance, but it will come through a message. Interesting. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I guess I'm just going to leave it there. This is kind of a long one. All right, everyone. Yeah. So, interesting. It was interesting that I felt very restless leading up to today and this reading. And now it's sort of like, I feel fine. So whatever is happening, hopefully this will be part of the emotion that will carry through if this is your reading. I think the restlessness is the uncertainty, and there will be certainty coming. But the important thing is not lose hope, and also keep your center of balance and gravity. If you are easily swayed, stop and ask yourself why. And just like the tree, just like the king, do you want to be easily swayed? Or do you want to know who you are and what you stand for so that you can stand? And I'm hearing that song, Rock Steady. How funny is that? All right, everyone. But I think that was not about standing strong. Okay. I don't know. All right. Okay, everybody. Be well. Be good. And I think we are coming into, I have a feeling this is going to be a good week, but kind of in a covert, undercover way. It's going to be, and by that I mean it's going to be unexpectedly a good week. I do. I think it really is going to, yeah. I think by the end of the week we're going to get some news and a message about some things that we've been questioning, and we'll know the truth. All right, everybody, I'm sending so much love and gratitude to you. You have a perfect soul, and remember, you're not in competition with anyone except yourself. And if you're happy with where you are, then that's exactly where you need to be. All right, be well, take care, and we will talk soon.